What's up, y'all? It's your boy George the Weatherman. Welcome back to a new video as a tropical video. Today we're looking at Tropical Storm, Tropical Depression 9. Forming to will be a tropical storm or a possible hurricane Melda. Melda is pretty doing that or like this organized thunderstorms, and as you know, it's doing pretty good. It's just making it through Cuba, northeast or western to Cuba. And hope you, before I get these started, hope you guys enjoy this video still. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Still hit that subscribe and make sure you hit that like video in this also. So let's get right to it. We do see a lot of pinkish and blackish, and this means it will, there is not much rotation, by the way. So we do see a lot of convection in the south. Let's go like western of Haiti and Dominican. I'm not really sure why. This might be a big, broad system to say, but I want to show y'all something. Here's the thing. People are talking about there's warm water, ocean heat content. The orange colors means pretty mild, a lot though. Just comparing to the monstrous areas in the Western Caribbean. But I'm looking at tropical depression 9. I'm sorry I said that again, but as you know, depression 9, this might be kind of expected according to the models. Like Baden's 9, the cone will be a tropical storm. I would say that Imelda will actually strengthen because of the ocean heat content in the warm waters. This cone might change, but I have to say just one model I kind of like, and it's more detailed, but it could be an outlier. According to NAM model, this wants to take tomorrow at 1 a.m. the 8th, this 28th, sorry, wants to be a tropical storm. Once it gets out of Cuba and the mountains, it would just go through the tomorrow afternoon, today afternoon. I'm sorry, I messed that up, but I mean tomorrow morning, afternoon, by the September 29th in the morning, 30 hours away from now. It is about 968 millibars, and it will take about, it will go through the Bahamas as a monster major hurricane as a 945 millibars, and it will go all the way to 60 hours. According to Humberto, it will kind of pull Imelda away from Florida, but unfortunately for the Bahamas, already really says it could be really bad. According to ZigZ, I'm sure just showing you the outliers. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say, but they want to take this to just to the other side of St. Lucie and Jupiter, Florida. Maybe northern of that. It'll be a 928 millibars, a Cat 5. I don't think this will actually happen, but it does. Because if it does happen, I think this is gonna be a big learned lesson. I think, but I'll go back to it. But GFS is taking as a strong tropical storm to a low grade hurricane, while this is getting pulled away for Humberto, major hurricane Humberto. And once it pulls away, it will just get pulled down by the high pressure with some actual cold temperatures. You see the blue lines. This is the indicating some Arctic temperatures, very cold temperatures. Pulls away while Imelda tries to come back, but another high pressure pulls away, and another front comes in by October, maybe the beginning or mid-October, and we get a system that can be a tropical depression. Would be our next named system. So seems crazy. And this is 12Z still. This is 16Z. This is taking as a, can't see, to a 985 millibar tropical storm, as a 975 mid-grade hurricane, and it stalls. Bless the Carolinas, fortunately. And we do not really have nothing, just some showers, maybe a likely cold front by October 12th. Let's go to the Western Atlantic. So yeah, we do have some couple little storm in us right here by October 12th, 60 to 27th. Maybe we got one little system about going way eastern of Bermuda, way eastern and by the mid-Atlantic. Could be just a little tropical depression. We're not going to go that far, but I might sound a little sick with this weird little stickiness, but I actually hit NAM 12 kilometers. Says it will be a tropical storm, maybe a low-grade hurricane can go into the Bahamas. Probably like the same area as Dorian did. I think it's what do you call it? I don't know the most Bermuda Islands as much. But it is steering this crazy to Humberto is like kidnapping this Milda according to the NAM model of 18Z. Kind of really early for that, so in compared to the other models like GFS or something. Back to the 18th. According to NAM model, it's just taking majorly since let's go to 12Z, 6Z, 0Z, 18Z to 26, 6Z to second, probably about all the way to 12Z, now 18Z. Since yesterday night, the 26th night, and it will take as a major hurricane. Wants to go like target Florida, maybe to the Kennedy Space Station. That would be not good. There will be a lot of like damages. It will be a nightmare where we can't tell what space is going on. Like we know the satellite. We do have the satellite, but we can't use our space equipment to take the space if this hurricane makes landfall at the Kennedy Space Center, like Daytona or something like that. That would be a very bad idea. But we'd still get to use our hurricane planes or something like that. But that is some good news. That's what mostly Florida's is about. A lot of popularity compared to California. Likely could be Florida popular as California. I'm saying like restaurants. I'll show you the NAM model. I'll show you what the satellite could look like. That's a defined eye right there for a Milda. Major hurricane Milda. I mean, we don't know if it's going to be a major hurricane compared to Beta News 9, the east side of Florida. Satellite here. Let's look right here. The orange indicates tropical storm warnings. The yellow could indicate a tropical. Well, the real shaded boxes by the coastlines are tropical storm warnings. The non-shaded, like highlighted, like in the other side of eastern of Florida, will be indicating tropical storm watches. Northward of Miami is under a warning. Just keep a lookout, maybe. If anything changes big or not, just keep an eye on it, because this right here looks insane. Turks and Caicos, I think it's pretty lucky. Yeah, look at the eye right here. The September 30th going to October. It's not pretty rare, but the October storms are going pretty common. This time that September is pretty more common. I don't know why I made that up. Going back to Humberto, it is a extreme. Oh my God, it's an extreme hurricane. It's a Category 4. The track showed it would have been a Cat 5, but could be likely what's going to happen. That'll be our second Category 5 hurricane, and I think this is our third major hurricane, which this season could be maybe positive, not really a destructive, but a very extreme hurricane season. I mean, there's a number of hurricanes, but we get more major hurricanes. So going to the track, we just see Humberto 27-25. We are indicating a major hurricane. Bermuda might likely have to watch out. There'll be some pretty unfortunate for people. There is going to be some hurricane force winds, maybe tropical zone force winds in the weaker sides of it, maybe. But so yeah, this would indicate this next coming Thursday will likely just pull all the way just to where the cold front is. Bermuda might be unfortunate if this kind of turns, but there's a catch though. There's no high pressure yet if this thing turns, but if it keeps might tilt the east a little bit, then change. But anyways, Intensity guy for Humberto is staying at category 4. We do see a couple models for a short-lived category 5 on a weekend all the way to category 4 by 72 hours to a category 3. I see one outlier showing, surprisingly, weakened to a category 1. No, we go straight to a category 4. That's ridiculous. We got two models showing it will say is a major hurricane all the way in the next 168 hours. Seems pretty wild, but they're doing one little more little track. We do see a lot of members are going a little bit where the track is actually going for the hurricane cone, but we do see one kind of make a little jump close to New Brunswick in the islands, but we do see one that says UKXI. That one looks like it's gonna go like northeastern probably, but I don't trust that. But comparing to what we had last major hurricane, like trying to think, Gabrielle. I think Gabrielle will likely it is now just paid a few days ago. We do see some weakening, some orange, we see some red. According to Iceland, Iceland is gonna be have to be aware because these little purples indicating pressure lows as 940 to 930 below, but that's not indicating that that's not extratropical. Indicating mean that it has to be in the Pacific. We call that's what they call that. It's per like a random simple English language or something like that. We call it post-tropical, meaning that the tropical cyclone that is in the European. That's what it's mostly called. And for Iceland, I think this is gonna be pretty bad for Iceland just because they do get strong like snowstorms or vortexes and stuff. But we're gonna go one more thing for Tropical Storm 9. It is indicating kind of a little bit some disorganization. It will rotate a little bit just now, but Bahamas, most of the Bahamas, like in the eastward of the cone, away from it, still indicating tropical storm force winds or tropical storm warnings. And I think due to the wind field intensity, it might get stronger. So, unfortunately, the cone looks like it's shifted to the more west a little bit. We're not sure when it's going to turn, but it will go a little bit northwest, indicating this will be probably a low grade hurricane. Then this will turn, so this will actually turn a little bit. So we don't know when this is going to turn. If Humberto is actually steering this also. So it's tropical storm watches where that yellow I was talking about for the Kennedy Space Center. Actually, we do have some tropical guidance. I'm sorry I'm making these mistakes, but it happens. We do see a couple of them making landfall in north and south of Georgia and South Carolina. And do we have another one going through Florida all the way to the west area? That's kind of ridiculous, but mostly the track guidance. This one's going straight. One of them is trying to make a turnaround. It reminds me of Hurricane Matthew a little bit, but a little bit kind of was like going a little bit closer to the Carolinas. But instead of that, it did what Dorian did, also to the Carolinas. We do see one trying to go to Maine, Massachusetts area. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But we do have a couple of them getting a little closer to Florida. So one of us trying to make a big loop. A few making landfall inland, like this one, right? We're like from Georgia to Iowa. That's an outlier. I believe that though. So let's get to true color. So there's a south side of it. The center is right there, but I have a big feeling that I don't know what is this by Haiti, but if this is part of it, or is this going to be a split part? But this looks very huge. For mostly like Cuba and the Bahamas, that's what mainly is, but that's the dirty side. Oh, we do see some like storms popping up, like a little layer to it, but and we do have somewhere about the Yucatan and by the Gulf, we do see some storms. Probably just some little bit of storms, but it's growing a little bit. But probably anticipating the shear and stuff. But speaking of that, we're gonna look at some wind shear a little bit. So yeah, it's not really. It's kind of low to moderate shear once it makes to a tropical storm by the Bahamas. There will be shear. There's a lot of high. It's a high pressure of 1,023 millibars by West Virginia, increasing some shear. I don't know what makes shear in the center of Humberto to compare all major hurricanes, but we do not have shear for the NAM models, unfortunately. So yeah, this is a big for NAM models. I don't agree if this will happen or not. Some say, mostly don't, but due to like the warm waters and huge ocean heat content, they're overhyping this. But if this is true, that could be the problem. Just to compare the ocean heat, it's mid 80s, probably like 85, 86, but it's more higher than that. That's a low resolution. Track still shows for Bay New Sign. If you're in eastern Florida, you probably know the news about that, but they're showing some orange colors and stuff. But for the so according to the University of Miami and the OHC, probably up to between 130 and 150 millimeters of this. But this is pretty a lot here. An orange, a little bit of red. Damn, Mall's probably overhyping. They're probably telling us something or not, but they just don't believe it because we're the American people, and the GFS is one of our models. So, but if this really changes to Humberto, because this green and yellow indicating some intensity. For Milda, I'm pretty concerned, but I might have to make a little update later on in the future, probably about later tomorrow maybe, and see, because this will likely could be a tropical storm before making landfall, or maybe a little bit in the Bahamas partially for the gradient utilities. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, y'all, because trying to do is a little tropical video. I don't mostly do severe weather. I do tropical stuff. Mostly severe weather most of the end of the hurricane season. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure to hit that like button. See you y'all and have a great day.